Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Oh boy, do I have a day today. First, I need to get through this morning's show with a minimum number of mistakes. Never easy. Then I'm taking my in-laws and my wife to my eldest daughter's new house. I'm back this afternoon to pull together the content for tomorrow's show before heading out again to bring my in-laws and my wife back again. And as if that weren't enough, I need to squeeze in a training walk before I sit down to host the tonight's episode of the Breakfast Show After Dark. If at any point during today you see me yawning, you'll know why. Now, speaking of tonight's show, as ever on our After Dark shows, the conversation will be led entirely by our audience. However, just to get your conversation juices flowing, I've come up with 3 or 4 possible topics that require our collective attention, and they are as follows. Here's the first one. Why do accident investigations take so long in the UK? Constant topic of conversation. Would love to get your take on that one. Is woke culture influencing construction recruitment? Are we choosing people to tick boxes, or are we choosing on merit? Love to get your thoughts on that. Do you feel safe attending construction equipment exhibitions? That will make more sense after the first item on the agenda today. And should the HSE warn the industry about upcoming campaigns? There's a new one come out just this morning that is forewarning the next campaign that the HSE will be undertaking. Should we get the heads up, or would the HSE be better off actually clamping down and doing things on the fly? Love to get your thoughts on all of that. If you'd like to address any or all of those, then please join us at 7 p.m. tonight for the Breakfast Show After Dark. Now, without further ado, let me roll the intro, post the question of the day, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It is Wednesday, the 5th of October, and as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, Bauma China 2022 falls victim to ongoing COVID-19 concerns. Meanwhile, Liebherr's TA230 ADT will make its debut at Bauma in Germany. It's been at other shows, but this will be its first outing at Bauma. Leica is bringing machine control to the masses with a new system designed specifically for compact excavators, and Merlo proves that telehandlers have a place in quarry applications too. Plus, we're going to play out today with perhaps the most iconic machine in the construction equipment world, the mighty Caterpillar D11. And we'll get to all of that in just a second, but first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to the man that brought the Big Mac and the McNugget to the masses, McDonald's entrepreneur Ray Kroc, and to former Scotland football manager Jock Stein. This day in history was also a big one for singers and band frontmen. It's happy birthday to the man that some people call Maurice, singer Steve Miller, to Sweet frontman Brian Connolly, to AC/DC singer Brian Johnson, to Sparks frontman Russell Mael, and to Bob Geldof of the Boomtown Rats. It's also happy birthday to horror author Clive Barker, to actor Guy Pearce, and to the ever gorgeous Kate Winslet. Many happy returns to them, one and all. We have seen industry exhibitions like Plantworks, Hillhead, and Bauma pushed back over the COVID-19 pandemic. We saw ConExpo cut short by a day for precisely the same reason. But just when we thought it was safe to dip our toes back into the exhibition water, it has been announced that Bauma China 2022 has been cancelled just a few weeks before it was scheduled to throw open its doors in Shanghai. Here is our roving robot reporter Reg, with all the details.
Due to the Chinese government's current COVID-19 policy, and concerns for the health and safety of the exhibitors and visitors, Bauma China 2022, which was to be held from 25 to the 27th of November 2022 in Shanghai, has been cancelled. A spokesperson says, a successful Bauma China with certainty for planning is our primary concern. Due to the still unforeseeable circumstances, this objective is unfortunately no longer feasible. To avoid a last-minute decision that may bring financial loss to the customers, we therefore cancel the show for 2022 with a heavy heart at this stage. We hope that all exhibitors can now start their preparation and planning for a successful Bauma China in 2024.
Yeah, that really doesn't give exhibitors and visitors much time to change and cancel their plans. In fact, I wonder if any of the equipment is actually already in place for the show that will now not take place. It's been a bad time for exhibitions this past few years. In addition to the shows that have been postponed, we've seen companies like Volvo, Case, and JCB announce that they will not be attending Bauma later this year, or later this month even. And just yesterday, we reported that although its equipment is already in place at the Munich showground, Kobelco's range of excavators and crawler cranes have now been withdrawn from a European sale over an engine emission scandal. As a keen exhibition attendee, I sincerely hope that shows get back on track very, very soon indeed.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
Now, speaking of Bauma, one of the many new Liebherr machines making their Bauma debut is the company's TA230 articulated dump truck. It was at Hillhead, so it's not brand spanking new, but it's still newish. And thankfully, my son Fred has filmed the machine on multiple occasions. So as we take another step along the road to Bauma, we're going to take a look at this awesome ADT doing its thing. And to think, terrific though it is, that TA230 probably won't even be among the top 5 hottest machines on the Liebherr stand. It's going to be some show. I don't know about you lot. Let me try that again. I don't know about you lot, but when I think of machine control systems, I immediately think of larger projects and of larger machines. Well, those fine folks at Leica Geosystems have something to say about that. The company has unveiled a new system that is designed specifically for use on compact excavators. I'm about to show it to you and exactly how it works. But while I'm doing that, I will also post a link in the chat so you can find out more. But this is what it looks like. Yeah, as I said, if you'd like to know more about that new system from Leica Geosystems, you will find a link right now in the chat. If I asked you to name a likely application for a telescopic handler, what would you say? Plant hire? House building? Agriculture? All good answers. But as you're about to see, telehandlers also have their place in quarries too. I can't be absolutely sure, but I'm fairly sure that might be the first time we've ever featured Merlo on this show. Hope to hear more from them in the future.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Our final film today contains no whiz-bangs or pyrotechnics, no razzmatazz and no dancing girls. It's just a machine doing its thing with some music playing in the background. But before you think, that sounds boring, let me tell you that the machine in question is a Caterpillar D11, and the work it's doing is ripping hard rock. Yeah, there is a reason that the Cat D11 is an icon in the field of construction equipment. It's a bit like Nick Drew in that respect.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show. But before I go, let me just remind you of some of the topics we have up for discussion on this evening's Breakfast show after dark. Why do accident investigations take so long in the UK? Obviously, Didcot is fast approaching 7 years. Redcar is over 3 years. Love to get your thoughts on that. Is woke culture influencing construction recruitment? We've had a suggestion from one of our correspondents that yes, it is, that women, ethnic minorities, and even transgender people are being employed ahead of average white men. Is that to tick boxes, or were they actually better qualified? Love to get your thoughts on that. We do have a counter argument to that one, funnily enough. Do you feel safe attending construction exhibitions? Obviously, we've learned this morning that Bauma China has been cancelled due to COVID fears or COVID concerns over in China. Obviously, the situation in China is significantly worse than it is here in the UK. But it has occurred to me, not that I'm planning to bail out, but it has occurred to me that I'm going to be going to Bauma in a couple of weeks' time to rub shoulders with roughly 600,000 people. That's, what is that? Probably 7 London stadiums worth of people. It's a lot of people, a lot of potential infection. So do you feel safe? Should the HSE warn about the industry's upcoming campaigns? As I say, there's one, I think it's about lifting and handling construction materials is the latest clampdown that the HSE are planning. But should they be warning about that? Is that not like telling a class that they will be a school class that they will be tested on the 4th chapter of, let me think, Wind in the Willows? I don't know why that came to my head first. The first 3 pages of Moby Dick. Is that not? I don't know. Is that a good idea? Should we be warned in advance, or should the HSE just be going about its job? And if people aren't concentrating on whatever their campaign is focused on at that point, they feel the full wrath of the HSE, whatever that is these days. Love to get your thoughts on all of that and anything else. It will be an open discussion tonight. So if there's anything else that is getting your goat or any other farmyard animal this evening, please let me know about it either before or when the show starts. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you this evening. If you do have the time and the inclination, however, I will see you on the other side of this.